Hello and welcome. This is rooflemonger. My friends, we got a lot of Tekken news to talk about today. Not the least of which is last night they stealth dropped a Zafina trailer, but besides that we also have our first DLC character for Tekken 8. That'll be Eddy Gordo, infamous as he is. Some story cinematics here, an opening movie, and also just a lot of little details about Tekken 8 in general. So, well, let's dig into it. So I know the first thing that's probably going to catch your interest is Eddy Gordo, because everyone loves Eddie, right? So I guess we'll start with that. So good news, bad news on the Eddy Gordo reveal. One, good news, hey, Eddy Gordo, super famous character. Bad news though, not too much in the way of gameplay details. We see a really cool mocap session here. So we can see one-to-one the recording and how it goes in-game. That is really cool. But a character trailer like some of the character trailers we've been getting throughout the weeks, this is not here. We're not getting a lot of core gameplay. Although it looks like here we have a dramatic intro between Nina and Eddie, as you can see here. You can see from the models here, Nina's actually about to shoot Eddie, right? And he kicks the gun out of her hand. So Nina not exactly playing games this time around. As for the outfit, I think the outfit looks very sharp. I think the colors they've went for are pretty cool. And as you can see here, he's our first DLC character. So later this year, summer, autumn, winter, I'm assuming winter 2025, but we'll see. But yes, more characters coming. There's only one complaint. I've already seen quite a few complaints about this as far as Eddie goes. And that's the haircut. The Killmonger haircut, either just direct ripoffs or trying to emulate it, right? It's kind of been overdone to death. Like even me, big old hillbilly from rural Canada, like even I know this is overdone. But that's it, one small complaint overall. I am seeing the complaints, but other than that, it's all love for Eddie. I'm very sure when he drops, he'll inspire a new age of terror against the casual audience. And we got more to talk about here, so let's talk the intro. So there's a proper cinematic intro for Tekken 8, just like previous Tekken games. Probably the most famous of which is Tekken 5, and wouldn't you know it, because they're definitely going for that feel with the beginning of it. Because as soon as I see this, I hear, I'm here now, I'm doing the best I can. You know, you've watched the Tekken 5 intro a million times, right? All that's missing is Asuka jumping 10,000 feet off a roof here. Now, as far as like the cinematic trailer aspect of it goes, it's fine, it's good. You know, it sets up Jin, Kazuya like you would expect, some good character moments, although there is a couple puzzlers. And it's on the official Bandai Namco YouTube channel if you want to watch it without me yammering over it. But there's a couple points I want to hit here. We got a shot of Reina walking through a crowd, and it gives me super strong Tekken 2 intro vibes. Like the angle's different, I guess, but also just June walking through a, you know, very urban crowd, all that kind of stuff, right? The only link is probably one I'm inventing in my head right now, but I just find them very similar. I like the shot here with Nina walking with all the Jacks. We have Jack 8, who's the most advanced, and a bunch of Jack 7s. And of course, for the other stuff here, Brian being Brian, going crazy, all that. You'd expect it. Skipping forward a bit here, we have Reina assuming the throne here. Very like swirly, evil kind of surroundings. We don't know much about Reina plot-wise, right? So this definitely gives me kind of villainous vibes. Wait and see, I guess, but it just looks suspicious. And we fade into like the big cinematic battle, so we know this is happening at some point in the plot where basically everyone's just gonna fight. Like all the characters that, let's call it for what it is, don't matter as much, are gonna be as part of like this big Avengers style battle. There's just some things I find interesting about this. And I'm not just talking the shot with the bears, which to be frank, is inspired really cool. So the big battle here, I'm assuming, is between Lars Yggdrasil forces and what's left of the Tekken forces versus the G-Corp soldiers. But we see Paul versus Law. And like, these guys have been best friends forever. And if they're on different sides of the fight, that means one of them is siding with Kazuya. And I don't think it's Paul, because Paul, before he became a total joke character, was Kazuya's rival. You know, he was the guy who beat Ogre and everything, right? Pretty strong dude before they decided he was a joke. So I think what's going to happen here is Law, Mr. I Hate Rich People, I think he's sold out. Taking a payday from Kazuya and G-Corp, I guess. That's the only way I can infer why these guys would be fighting, especially in the middle of this giant battlefield. But I guess this is a big wait and see. The other really interesting shot here is with June and Jin. June here, again, in a weird, ethereal other place, not exactly beating the ghost allegations in my opinion. And Jin, taking on Kazuya, we see cuts a Kazuma-style defensive move. Like, this is the counter you would see out of Asuka, right? So maybe he's learning the peaceful Kazuma way instead of the hateful Mishima way. I don't know, right? But it's very stark. It's obviously something they're going for here. So that's the cinematic trailer, but we got a lot more little news here. So Tekken World Tour Finals is happening right now, and in this, they had a Tekken Talk, and they announced a lot of things about the game. So Harada and crew came out for a live Tekken Talk, and everyone is wearing the Slick Reina jacket, as you can see here. Given the amount of merch they talk about, I would say it's safe to expect this shirt for sale at some point. So I want to highlight some of the more interesting things that were brought up here in this Tekken Talk. So for one, yes, we got the big cinematic story mode. We have arcade quests. That's great. That's a good amount of single player content right there. But every character will have their own episodes. So if you recall Tekken 7's single player offerings past the cinematic story mode, it was a little anemic. So every character is getting something, and every character is getting their own CGI ending. This is the way it should be, so I'm a big fan of that. There was some talk about the new era of the Tekken World Tour for 2024. They're not giving a lot of details out just yet. The big takeaway here is all events are offline only. There will be no online events. And there will be distinction as well here, global leaderboards and regional leaderboards. And a lot of people very happy about offline only. To that I say, I get it, but I really hope for people, in smaller regions, they are given the same opportunities as everyone else. Because online is the great equalizer after all. And if everything's offline, if your region doesn't have anything, offline tournaments, you're kind of screwed. Not everyone can afford to fly out and spend many thousands of dollars per tournament. Also, in a direct stab, I would say at Street Fighter, they got the Chipotle marketing deal in. And I'll just read this verbatim here, including a custom menu item in the Chipotle app, built for and by the Tekken community. Once again here, I live in rural Ontario. I've never been to a Chipotle. I don't know what they're about. But cool, I guess. Now, besides all that, a few things to quickly note here. The franchise's music will be available for streaming starting on January the 6th on all your favorite platforms. And on top of that, they're going to be selling you all kind of music, including vinyls and CDs and all that. And I mentioned about the merchandising earlier in the video, and yeah, they're selling you a lot of merch. I'm not going to go through everything here, but if you're looking to buy some Tekken-related apparel and products, they got your back this time around. One thing that's pretty important here is the character pass. So if you have the character pass, getting all the DLC characters for year one, you will get an early access period, say similar to how Mortal Kombat does it. So if you want those characters early, hey, you gotta pony up. So that's the news as it currently stands. There's quite a bit going on, and Tekken 8 is like less than 2 weeks away at this point. Gonna be a pretty big launch, I think it's very safe to say. As I'm recording this, the Tekken World Tour Finals are still happening, so hey, maybe even some more announcements at the end. I guess we'll find out. But either way, that is the video for now. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well, and go out and play some Tekken.